Hello everybody, this is the Oklahoma Joe Rambler Smoker Grill, and I'm going to demonstrate how you can make some of the best barbecue baby back ribs that you've ever had on this little unit. I do have my larger Oklahoma Joe undercover, which I use for my brisket, and they absolutely come perfect. I do have a video on those if you want to see a Texas brisket from start to finish under Stephen Mamo, and I will show you on this little Rambler how you could actually make some of the best ribs ever. So here's the Rambler uncovered. It comes with all the features of the original Oklahoma Joes. Obviously it is an Oklahoma Joe, but it has a very large gauge, just as I do on my larger smoker. It has the chimney, very heavy handles, and it does have the vent which opens and closes in this direction, which is really awesome. The coolest thing about this grill, however, is what's inside. And it does have adjustable shelves where you can drop the plate, the grill plate, as low as you want it. Since we are going to do ribs and it will be slow cooking, I will be dropping this to the very lowest unit available, such as this. It does have a clean out tray, which I absolutely like, that slides out. And I'm going to prep the grill and move some of my purple whole pea plants that are growing all around it, and some of the grapevines that I have, and we'll be right back. Okay, a very important part of the step here is to use charcoal that has mesquite, which this does. I will be adding some wood. This is actually a pretty decent product from Mexico. It is made in Mexico and really does a great job by never burning too hot or too much out of control. You can actually control this very well in a grill like this, so I love using this kind of thing. And another very important ingredient is the obviously, setting yourself up with your meat prepared with the proper seasoning, and I will have that shown here in a moment. That's what that looks like, and we'll get to it. So this is what the charcoal looks like. It's actually wood that's been treated and obviously made into charcoal, and it is amazing. Once you get this going, you'll really see a big difference on how well it maintains the heat. Okay, as you can see, the charcoal is warming up and have it lit. I love using these fluid-free containers. You basically put some paper underneath the charcoal bucket and light it up, and no lighter fluid needed. So we'll let that get nice and red and hot and go from there. I use dry rub. In this case, I'm using some honey garlic dry rub by Fire and Smoke. And you sprinkle it generously on it. The next very important ingredient is Maker's Mark with a little bit of Diet Coke. And that's our okra from our backyard. And this is the baby back ribs all ready to be put on the burner. So once the seasoning starts to cure, as you can see, it will have a wet look to it, and I wait for all of it to dry into, or work its way into the meat. And then I stick the meat in the refrigerator until it's ready to go on the smoker. And yes, these are okra that we grow in our backyard, along with purple whole peas and some grapes. And they are amazing, but we will get this going. Stay tuned. Okay, next step is to put the charcoal and the mesquite wood together beside the grill. All right, so I got the wood in the ground. Sorry about that, dropped my camera. Okay, so I will take the wood chunks and I will place them around the fire. And obviously brush off the grill. I will open the chimney about halfway and the vent about halfway as well, and let it smoke. Give it a few minutes just to see what the temperature gauge reads, and we'll go from there. Okay, time to get the meat on the grill. I always put my meat fat side up first, just like that. And we're gonna close this up. I'm gonna keep everything closed up. It's at about 300, 275 right now. And I'm gonna let it will cool down, but it's good for it to sear a little bit. And again, nothing but dry rub on it. Temperature about 250 to 275. And we will see how it does. Okay, the meat's been on the smoker for about 30 minutes. And this is where I now flip the ribs to the other side. Okay, so I will let these now smoke for probably a couple of hours. As you can see, it's about 250 degrees, which is about where I want it. And these will smoke for maybe 2 hours and a half-ish, 3 hours probably. And I'll show you what those look like here in a little bit. But again, this smoker is amazing. I am going to keep it closed, maybe just a tad open, and let it breathe a little bit. And as you can see, the smoker works just like the larger smokers, but more condensed. It requires less fuel, but does really, really well. Okay, talk soon. Okay, just checking on how things are going. I have the heat up to about 300 right now. So I just closed the vents. Again, key is not to open your grill. Let the smoke continue to cure the meat and just let it cook. And this is a table I put together, actually temporary, to use for the grill. And I'm thinking about just building something a little bit more permanent. And the reason why I like this grill is because it's actually portable, and It's great for camping, great for cooking steaks or burgers or anything like that. I do have another grill along this way. It's actually behind the cover here, which is a KitchenAid gas grill, which does really well also on quick meals, like if you want to grill a quick steak or something along those lines. But I do grow a lot of my own tomatoes, green peppers, have a cherry tree, squash and things like that, a few peach trees, grapevines, and obviously, as I mentioned earlier, I love having purple whole peas and okra, which does really well. As you can see, it grows almost every day. You will have okra. We pick it on a daily basis, and it just grows like a weed, and it's amazing. We love it. Anyway, more on the brisket, not the brisket, but more on the ribs here shortly, and let you know how those are turning out here momentarily. Okay, so I covered up the ribs with a little bit of foil and put some corn on here, which looks amazing. And I usually cover up the ribs for about 15 minutes just to kind of give them a little bit more ability to get their juices built in. As you can see, it's very, very flimsy, which is going to be amazingly tender. And looking forward to getting this all cut up and see how it does. But as you can tell, this grill's been cooking for about close to 3.5 hours to closer to 4 hours, and the temperature's been right about 250, close to 250. I just opened it, so the temperature just dropped. So let's see how they look completed now. And here they are. I will say these are incredibly tender. If you take a knife and just kind of see, it just falls apart. It's incredibly tender. This is what a rib is supposed to look like. And just top it off with your favorite barbecue sauce. I'm telling you, they come perfect all the time. When the knife just goes in this fast and this smooth, you're gonna get the best results you can get. I mean, you can just see that tenderness. There's no better way to make ribs than just using dry rub, a good grill like what I just showed you, a little bit of time, and you'll get the best results. And again, amazing. That's Texas style. And here's the done deal. We used jalapeno bread, or we serve jalapeno bread with grilled corn. And obviously, here's the rib. Perfectly done. Thanks for watching.